In the narrow, sun-scorched corridor of the Strait of Hormuz, the world's most powerful navy faces a ghost. Imagine a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier, a 4.5-acre fortress of sovereign American steel, bristling with 70 combat aircraft and protected by a phalanx of destroyers. It is the ultimate symbol of global hegemony. Yet, as it glides through the shimmering turquoise waters of the Persian Gulf, it is being watched by something that costs less than the carrier's daily fuel bill. This is the story of Iran's ghost fleet and the asymmetric doctrine that has turned the world's most vital maritime choke point into a nightmare for the Pentagon. It's not just about speedboats and missiles, it's about a psychological war where the giant is terrified of the mosquito. To understand why the US Navy is truly concerned in 2026, and we have to look at the two pillars of Iran's strategy: the economic ghost fleet that keeps the regime alive, and the military mosquito fleet designed to sink the unsinkable. The ghost fleet is a phantom armada of aging tankers. These are the dark vessels, ships that have been scrubbed of their history, sailing under flags of convenience like Panama or Barbados, with their GPS transponders switched off. They are the lifeblood of the Iranian economy, moving millions of barrels of sanctioned oil through the shadows. By 2026, this fleet has become so sophisticated that it utilizes advanced GPS spoofing and ship-to-ship transfers in the middle of the night to bypass the most rigorous international sanctions. But these ships aren't just for commerce. In the event of war, any one of these rusted hulls could be a floating bomb, are a hidden missile platform, or a shield for the Revolutionary Guard's elite units. But the real terror lies in the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy, or the IRGCN. They don't try to build carriers. They know they can't win a fair fight. So they decided to change the rules of the game entirely. Their doctrine is built on one terrifying word: swarm. Picture this: a US carrier strike group enters the Strait. Suddenly, the radar screens bloom with hundreds of tiny contacts. They aren't coming from one direction, they are coming from everywhere. These are the Zulfiqar brigades, speedboats capable of speeds up to 110 knots, armed with rocket launchers, heavy machine guns, and short-range anti-ship missiles. They move like a school of piranhas. A single phalanx CIWS on a destroyer can track and kill a dozen targets. But what happens when there are 200? What happens when they are mixed with civilian fishing dhows and unmanned suicide surface vessels? The math of this warfare was proven in a legendary and highly controversial US military exercise called Millennium Challenge 2002. Retired Marine Corps Lieutenant General Paul Van Riper was put in charge of the Red Team, the enemy forces. Using a fleet of small boats, motorcycle couriers to avoid electronic eavesdropping, and old-school light signals, Van Riper launched a massive coordinated strike against the simulated US fleet. In less than 10 minutes, 16 American warships, including an aircraft carrier, were at the bottom of the ocean. 20,000 American lives were lost in the simulation. The result was so shocking that the Pentagon commanders reset the game. I gave the US forces their ships back and ordered Van Riper to follow a script so they could win. Van Riper walked out in disgust, but the lesson remained. In the confined waters of the Persian Gulf, technology isn't a shield, it's a target. As we move into 2026, the situation has reached a breaking point. Following the death of Supreme Leader Khamenei, the regional tensions have exploded into a kill zone scenario. Iran has deployed its new Fateh-2 hypersonic missiles, designed specifically to penetrate the Aegis defense systems. They've integrated drones, the Shahed series, that act as eyes for the speedboats, providing real-time targeting data while the boats stay hidden behind the rocky cliffs of Iran's southern coast. The Ghost Fleet tankers now act as motherships, hiding swarms of drones and fast attack craft within their massive cargo holds. When the signal is given, the sides of a seemingly innocent merchant vessel fall away, revealing a hornet's nest of weaponry. This is the ultimate asymmetry. The US Navy must protect the entire world's oil supply, while Iran only has to destroy a single ship to win the day. The geography of the Strait of Hormuz is Iran's greatest ally. At its narrowest, the shipping lane is only 2 miles wide. A single well-placed sea mine, of which Iran possesses over 6,000, could halt global trade and send oil prices to $300 a barrel overnight. The U.S. Navy is forced to operate in a maritime kill zone where their billion-dollar assets are vulnerable to a $1,000 mine or a drone built in a garage. The fear isn't just about losing a ship. It's about the humiliation of the world's superpower being held hostage by a ghost fleet. The doctrine of swarm warfare has turned the Persian Gulf into a chess match where the U.S. is playing with a king and queens, while Iran has 1,000 pawns, and every pawn is a queen in disguise. As the sun sets over the Gulf in 2026, the silence is heavy. Somewhere out there, a dark ship is moving silently, its lights out, its purpose unknown. Behind it, tucked into the coves of Bandar Abbas, the speedboats are fueled and ready. The U.S. Navy watches the radar, waiting for a swarm that might never come or might be only seconds away. This is the asymmetric reality of the Ghost Fleet, a war that is won not by the strongest, but by the one who is willing to disappear.